Now, let's move on to my presentation today on quick and easy ways to improve your English. First of all, I would like to define the term English language. All right. So it is the world's lingua franca, a common language used by people around the world to communicate with one another. Right. As English has now spans across countries and cultures, and the ability to speak the language well will definitely open many doors for your career and social life. Okay, the more fluent you are in English, the more interesting, exciting, and insightful conversations you can have with people around you. It also enables life enriching experiences like traveling, studying, and working abroad, not only in English speaking countries like US, UK, or Australia, but also in many other countries where English is widely spoken. Okay, so in this presentation, we will be looking at the challenges faced by students in English. I will be also sharing some tips on how to improve your speaking, reading, listening, and writing skills, and useful links and websites for further references, followed by Q&A session at the end of my presentation. Now, let's look at the challenges faced by English as Second Language or ESL students. First in the list is limited learning environments, all right? So when we talk about limited learning environments, it is about the students where, the students' environment where they only make an effort to speak in the language in the classroom, okay, when they are under supervision of their teachers or instructors, okay, when they are required to use the language in the classroom for during the English language period, so they have no choice than to use the language. But the moment they step out from the class or their school, they are not bothered to speak the language unless if they are from the English speaking background or the environment requires them to use the language. Okay, so and also these students don't always have people around them to speak proper English. So most of the time, they will hear people using broken English, all right? So which will not really help them to speak a proper English, okay? Next is, when this happens, all right, it is very difficult for the students to learn the correct way of speaking the language or the correct usage of the language. All right. Next is lack of confidence. Okay, when we talk about confidence, imagine speaking a foreign language or a second language. All right, in Malaysian context, we learn English as a second language. Yeah, all right. Learning this second language with a correct sentence structure, good choice of words and vocabulary and grammar with right pronunciation. Wow. Okay, this sounds really difficult, right? So yeah, it makes the students to have no confidence. Okay, they to be lacking in confidence, all right, because they're afraid of making any mistakes or errors, and to avoid they are just afraid that their friends will laugh at them, all right, so they are afraid of even trying, okay, to speak the language or to use the language. Okay, so next is lack of vocabulary knowledge. Okay, so how do you gain vocabulary knowledge? First of all, you need to read a lot. Okay, you need to expose yourself to the language. But if you feel that it is not interesting or it is very difficult, so of course it will lead to lack of vocabulary. Okay, so you will find it very difficult to explain something. All right, you can think about the idea in your own knowledge, in your own language. All right, but it is difficult for you to find the right words to explain, all right, to express your ideas, especially from the first language, from your mother tongue or your native language to English language. All right, so I would say that it also leads to incorrect grammar. Okay, lack of vocabulary knowledge and incorrect grammar, because you don't focus much on grammar. All right, so next, you have to understand that you learn another language best when you are forced to use it. So if you don't use the language, right, so what happens is you will be lacking in vocabulary, you will be using incorrect grammar. Okay, so this kind of consequences might occur. All right, Next is overuse of native language or L1 interference. L1 is your first language or your native language. Okay, so being a Malaysian, all right, I'm sure that all of you will agree with me that most of the time we mix up the languages. Okay, it could be English and Bahasa Malaysia, Malay language, all right, our national language, or even with Chinese. For example, let's go makan. Okay, can you help me to tap out some food? All right, so you see, this is something very common in our country, even in Singapore. All right, why? Because we are used to it. All right, so we feel that, oh, I can speak English, I can communicate in English. All right, so what if I mix the languages? All right, if I switch to Bahasa or even Chinese, as long as they can understand me. Okay, so this is also one of the challenges for the students to practice the correct way of using the English language, right? So too dependent on the teacher, right? So going to a teacher for every little problem will never be able to make you to learn on your own, all right? So do not be too dependent on the teacher, okay? It is also one of the challenges. Okay, so you have to figure out how to solve the problem on your own, right? So do not bring every little problem to your teacher during your classes, all right? Instead, you can actually look up in the dictionary to find out the meaning of the words or to solve the problem on your own, all right? If at all you can't do it, you can always seek for your teacher's assistance, all right? You can ask your teacher to help, okay? So next point is strong students dominate the class. Okay, yeah, this is also a common thing, all right, where no matter how well students are sorted, okay, when your teacher put you in the groups, all right, there will be somehow some differences in how much the students know and how quickly they can learn, all right. So the strongest students who are really good at the language and who are very confident and who are enthusiastic because they are confident, right? So they will always volunteer themselves to answer questions whenever your teacher asks question, or they like to be the first one to try out, okay? To they'll raise their hand to answer questions and also to take part in any activities given by your teacher in your classroom. All right, so this makes the weaker students to be left out, right, or left behind, because they are always been forgotten during classroom discussions and also activity. Why? The strong students always dominate the class. Okay, so and also it makes the weaker ones to feel shy, to feel nervous, to even try it out. Okay, next, lack of commitment to learning. So when we talk about lack of commitments to learning, students often think that they can use the same English that they speak at home or outside of their classroom. And especially, when they use broken English at the shops on the street, all right, or when they speak to their friends, okay, they just feel that, okay, it's also English, so I can use the same language when I answer the questions in the examination. So they find it to be like, that's okay, all right, to use broken English. No, all right. So you have to differentiate. You have to know that the differences between a formal language and informal language. It's okay for you to use, broken English among your friends or even among family members, outside of your formal academic setting. But when it comes to academic setting where you need to take part in your speaking examination or reading or writing or listening examination, then you have to answer accordingly. All right. So you have to remember that you don't study English as much as you study other subjects. All right. So you only study English during your during your English language period, okay, in your class when your teacher is teaching. So after that, you just feel that there is no need for you to learn the language or to speak the language outside of your classroom. Especially living in Malaysia, you just feel that, as long as I can speak in my national language, that's fine. People can still understand me. But trust me, you will struggle when you join your university studies, or even when you travel, then you will regret. Okay. So lack of commitment is one of the biggest challenge, okay, faced by English language students in Malaysia. So you know what happens whenever your teacher corrects you'll just feel that, oh, that's okay, teacher, after all, it's not my language. Okay, I'm not the native speaker, it's not my language. So do not have this kind of attitude. All right, always be committed, try to improve yourself, and there are so many resources available around you in this advanced world. So you have to get committed and try out to make an effort to learn new words. Okay, even learn things outside of your classrooms. All right, so this greatly affects your ability to learn English. All right, now I would like to share some tips on how to improve your speaking skills. Okay, first, listen and repeat. So when I talk about listen and repeat, right? So listen to how a native speaker says something, and you try to copy them. All right, you try to copy them, or you can try to imitate them, or you can repeat. Okay, for example, when I was a kid, I liked drawing. So let's say you heard this from an audio or from a video that you watched or you heard. So when you rephrase the sentence to someone, you can just replace the pronoun here. So when she was a kid, she liked drawing. All right. So you may use YouTube videos, TV shows, TED Talks, or podcasts to listen to English regularly. Right. So these kind of websites are very useful for you to gain more knowledge. So you can find a short clip and repeat your favorite words used in clip, okay, in that particular video clip, line by line. All right. And yeah, please ensure that you pick your favorite videos with subtitles. Okay, make sure it is something that you enjoy watching or enjoy listening. Okay, if not, you'll get bored, and it will not help you in any ways. Okay, so you can also turn on the subtitles if you feel that it is necessary, and listen to it as much as you can. Okay. Second, think in the language, not your native language. So your native language can be Bahasa Malaysia, or Chinese, or even Tamil, or other languages. Okay, so when you think in English, not in your native language, it takes less time for you to produce or respond in everyday conversation. You know why? Because no translation is needed. Okay, so you can save some time here. You don't have to stress up on translating word by word. Okay, use English to English dictionary to look up words. Okay, why do I say English to English dictionary? So that when you learn a new word, and when you find out the meaning of the word, all right, from the same dictionary, it would be easier for you to explain. All right, when your teacher requires you to explain what did you understand, or what is your opinion, and so on. So it will be easier for you to explain. All right, you don't have to think in your native language again. All right, so other than that, try to keep a diary in English. Okay, so this would be very helpful. Okay, when you are actually keeping a diary or journal in English. All right, it helps you to express your daily thoughts in English. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, the more it is about getting to express your thoughts in English, all right, with less and less effort. Okay, so you will not feel stressed. Okay, next, pay attention to stressed sounds. All right, when you speak English, right, you will need to stress or emphasize certain words and syllables referring to the sounds, to give them different meanings. Okay, please remember that placing the stress on the wrong syllable or the wrong sound, okay, completely changes the meaning of the word, right, of a particular word. For example, address. Okay, it refers to a physical location where someone lives. For example, hi, can I have your address, please? Right? So that means I would like to have your address. Where do you live? Okay, the name of the street, the house number, and so on, your postcode and all that. Okay, address. Okay, so address is to formally speak to a group of people. For example, I'm meeting a person for the first time and I can ask the person, hi, how do I address you? So address is to how to formally speak to a group of people, or how to call someone. Okay, is there any titles that I should be using, like for example doctor, a professor, okay, sir, or miss or Mrs. Okay, so yeah. Next, focus on English fluency, not grammar. Okay, I know that grammar is also important, but when you speak in English, how often do you stop? So please ask this question to yourself. All right, the more you stop, the less confident you sound and the less comfortable you become. All right, so do not pause for a long time and do not stop in between when you speak. All right, so challenge yourself to speak without stopping or stammering, taking pauses between your words the entire time. For example, if you can recall, at times you may say, well, okay, this kind of um, pauses, okay? So this might mean that your sentences will not be grammatically perfect, but that is okay. As long as you can fluently speak the language, grammar will be considered as a secondary part, right, of your conversation. So if you focus on speaking fluently instead of correctly, you will still be understood and you will sound better. For example, let's say I say, okay, where did you bought this from? Okay, so you see, I can fluently say this, right? Where did you bought this from? But if you notice the sentence structure, where did you bought? Okay, did is already indicating a past tense, but I say bought. So if you focus on my sentence structure, of course, I am using an incorrect sentence structure of tense, all right, or grammar. Okay, so but that's okay as long as you reach the fluency. Okay, the right fluency, then you can correct your grammar slowly, okay, through practices. Okay, next, use a mirror. So you can take a few minutes out of your day to stand in front of the mirror and speak. Okay, you may choose a topic, set a timer for 2 or 3 minutes, and you just start talking. All right, you can watch. So while talking, you can watch your facial expression, your mouth, face, and body language, okay, as you speak, right? So you can also keep talking for the full 2 or 3 minutes without a pause, right? So if you get stuck on a word you don't know, okay, try expressing your ideas differently. You can change the phrases into a passive voice, or from active voice to passive voice, or from passive voice to active voice, right? And you can always look up how to say that word after the 2 to 3 minutes end. All right, once it ends, then you can look out for it. Okay, so next, practice saying tongue twisters. I am sure that many of you are um, aware of these tongue twisters activities. Usually your language teachers will conduct this kind of activities in language classroom. All right, so tongue twisters is one of them to improve your pronunciation. Okay, a phrase that is difficult to pronounce because it is made up of many similar sounds. For example, she sells seashells on the seashore. Okay, so the condition here is you have to read this sentence out, as fast as you could, but you can start slowly. If you're not used to it, you can start slowly. She sells seashells on the seashore. She sells seashells on the seashore. So you can practice slowly until you speed up. All right, once you feel confident, then you can try to speed up. Right, how much would a woodchuck chuck? So how much would a woodchuck chuck? How much would a woodchuck chuck? How much would a woodchuck chuck? So you see, you will somehow reach the speed, right? Once you're confident. Okay, can a can, like a canner can a can. So you just try to understand the sentence first, then you try it out again in a faster mode. Can you can a can? sorry, can you can a can like a canner, can a can? All right, so you can speed it up. Can you can a can like a canner, can a can? So that's how you do it. All right. Start off by trying to pronounce all of the words in the tongue twister slowly but correctly, right? Then try to pick up the pace until you can say them really fast, okay, like how I did. Okay, an excellent way of exercising your speech organs. Yeah, so this is also known to be an excellent way to exercise your speech organs and your pronunciation skill, right? Next, and there are a lot of tongue twisters available out there. You can look out for them. Even you can try out one a day, right, to improve your pronunciation skill. Okay, so next, read out loud. So you can read the newspaper or magazine out to yourself. But nowadays, I know not many of you are reading newspaper or magazine. Instead, you prefer to read online newspaper or magazines, right? So you can also do the same. Doesn't matter. Okay, just try to read out loud. Okay, you can read it out loud. All right. So you may find a script of your favorite TV show and also act it out. Okay. So this would be a great way to practice your pronunciation, as you will focus more on making sure your English sounds great without worrying about sentence structure or grammar. Okay. Next, make friends. Okay. Yeah, this sounds interesting, right? Okay, make friends with English speakers or others who are learning to speak the language, okay, and compare your notes with them. All right, why? You will be able to learn something from them if you make friends with, let's say, native speakers or English speakers who are really good, right? Your classmates or your friends or your next door kid, all right? So you can try to imitate them, or you can just observe them, how do they speak the language. And if you make friends with others who are also struggling like you to learn the language, you can also talk to them, share your ideas, compare your notes, and share your feelings, all right, your struggles, and also a lot of things with them which can make it interesting and help each other to learn the language in a better way, right? So you can talk about things that you have learned and exchange your ideas as well, all right? Maybe they might have some other tips that they can share with you, or you may have some other ways to improve certain skills where you can share with them, right? Next, do interesting activities in English. Okay, so for this, you can join a hobby class. Let's say you love to cook or bake. So you can always join a cooking or baking course, which is conducted in English, or even you can join a book club. So this would be helpful. But you have to make sure that it is conducted or communicated in English. Okay, so you will enjoy learning the skill. At the same time, you will learn how to communicate, or how to, label the ingredients, or label the tools that you're using, okay, during the classes, right? So using English to talk about things you enjoy will definitely make your practicing a positive experience. It will not make you to feel it is a struggle, or it is challenging, or it is difficult or tough for you to get there. Okay, now let's move on to some tips to improve your reading skills. Okay, I would like to share some tips on how to improve your reading skills here. First of all, find a book that interests you. Okay, so you have to make sure the level of the book is right for you. For example, let's say you are from the intermediate category. Okay, so you need to find a book that is not too difficult. That means you should not get a book which is for advanced learners, and you should not also look for a book which is for elementary students or elementary level, because it will be too easy for you. Okay, so you will learn nothing, right? So first, try reading 2 or 3 pages once you have selected the book. All right, first try reading 2 or 3 pages. So if there are more than, let's say, 10 new words per page, then it may be best for you to choose a simpler book. Why? Imagine reading a book where it has 10 or more new words per page. what will happen is you will have to like look up for the meanings in the dictionary, right? Every now and then. Okay, so it will not help you, or it will not make the reading interesting. You will get very stressed, and you will you will not go according to the flow. Okay, you will lose track of the content of the story, and you will not find the story interesting. Okay, so you rather look for a book which has less than 10 new words, or maybe like one or two, three new words is fine. Okay, yeah. So reading should not become a boring dictionary exercise. Imagine like if your teacher is asking you to always underline the new words in the text, and then look out for the meaning, and then you read the text again. So it will be very taxing, or it might not make the reading interesting. So you will just give up, and you will find it very boring, right? So if you can understand the general meaning and just look up for look up a few new words per page, then the book is probably a good choice for you. Okay, that's fine. Okay, second, decide on the purpose of your reading. So you may ask this question to yourself: what am I reading for? Okay, is it to gain information, to meet school requirements, or to practice pronunciation, to learn vocabulary, or study grammar? For example, you may be reading a novel for class. Okay, so you need to understand and remember the text. So whenever your teacher is asking a question related to the novel or the plot or synopsis, so you can answer them. All right. But if you're just reading the novel for pleasure, just to, for fun, to as a hobby, then it's a different story. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's for a different purpose. Okay. So third, scan your reading before you begin. So you may ask these questions to increase your understanding. First, what is the title of the text? Okay. Second, what is the overall idea being discussed in the text? Third, is the work divided into separate sections or paragraphs? So these kind of questions will help you to understand the content of the book better, or the content of the text better. Okay, next, learn new vocabulary in context. So you will come across a lot of unfamiliar or new words while reading. Okay, this is a common thing, right? Okay, so before you look them up in a dictionary, try to work out what you think they mean based on the context of the story. This is where, I advised you earlier not to be too dependent on your teacher. All right, you may just make some guesses before you check with your teacher. All right, for example, my mother is always happy and optimistic, the total opposite of my brother, the pessimist. So from the sentence, you can gather that pessimist means the opposite of happy. So that means being moody and angry. So this is how you make some guesses, okay, to understand the meaning of the words, right? However, when you're writing down the new vocabulary, it is a good idea for you to double check each and every word, okay? Next, read out loud. Okay, it will make you to be involved with the text in two ways. First, your eyes will be looking at the words. Okay, second, your ears will listen to them. So when you read out the text loud, all right, it enables you to absorb everything. Okay, the pronunciation, the pace, all right, the speed of your reading. Okay. At the same time. So it will be very, very helpful for you to improve your reading skill. Next, think about what you have read. Okay, when you have finished reading your book, take a moment to reflect on what you have read. Okay, so you can also ask this question to yourself: were there any new words from the book that you especially liked? Okay, that attracted you? Okay, your focus or your concentration, were there any words that really attracted you? Okay, have you written this down in your notebook? Okay, remember I said you can have a diary or a journal, or you can even have a notepad. So whenever you come across a new word, you can quickly jot it down in your in the notepad. All right, so if you enjoyed the book, then would you like to try another by the same writer, or perhaps read about the author's life on Wikipedia? Why not? You can also do this, all right, to learn more about the author. Okay, so just because you have finished one book does not mean you have reached the end of the road. Okay, so there is always more to discover. So it's time for you to choose your next book. Okay, next, test yourself. So how do you do it? Open a book, read a paragraph, close the book, write down the key points, and then check if you have missed any important details. So this is also a very good practice for you to improve your spellings, all right? Your spellings of words in English, right? Next, make a reading study plan together. So do something every day. You just need to spend at least 5 minutes to read every day. Okay, make it compulsory. So you can do something different every day. It doesn't have to be the same activity because you will get bored, right? So I have some examples here. For example, on Monday, you can just read 1 to 2 pages of a short story. On Tuesday, you can read a blog post. On Wednesdays, you can read a BBC News article. Thursday, do a reading exercise from an English textbook. Friday, read a film review online. Saturday, read the comments on an online news article. And Sunday, you can read the lyrics to a song. Okay, so this would make your reading interesting. Okay, next, watch a movie. Okay, so if reading an original novel in English feels a bit scary, okay, you can even try watching the film first. Okay, many popular books now are available on film versions. Okay, so you can get them. So it will give you a basic understanding of the story before you start reading them or reading the book itself. Okay, so watching movies is a great practice too. Okay, most novels are now also available as audiobooks where you can try listening to an audiobook from your comfort zone and it saves a lot of time too. Okay, for example, while cooking, while walking your pet, all right, while cycling, all right, okay, while traveling on the train or bus. So you can do this. Okay, you can save a lot of time. Okay, so I have some suggestions of books here, a list of books, right? Arusha and the End of Time by Roxane Chokshi, Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson, Ghost by Jason Reynolds, The Vesting Game by Alan Rankin, The Parker Inheritance by Verin Johnson, I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, From the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil A. Frankweiler. So you can take note of these books, right? If you're interested, you can try it out, okay? Now, let's move on to the tips to improve your listening skills, right? Okay, so first of all, try to join a conversation group. It is not just about practicing your own speaking skills, but also listening to others and understanding what they are saying, okay? So pick up some vocabularies and observe the way those people speak. So you can imitate them, you can observe them, right? So next, you can download a lot of English listening materials to your phone or even computer. I would suggest you to download podcasts, all right? Podcasts are audio shows or on English conversations, which can be downloaded from the internet for free. Okay, so to download podcasts to your phone, you need a podcast app. Okay, so you can always, as most of us are using smartphones nowadays, you can go to your app store and search for podcast app and pick one with good ratings here. Please check out on the ratings and also the reviews, okay, in order to download the right ones, all right? So refer to the images first, okay? Here I have the steps to download, okay? Download podcast to your phone, all right? Second, you can open the podcast app and search for the podcast by entering a search term. So you can just enter something you're interested in, for example, scary stories, okay, humors, okay, and then you can download the podcast episodes automatically, okay. Next, you can turn the boring time into listening time. How do you do it? You know, example, when you're driving, traveling on a bus or train, I just mentioned, or doing house chores like when you're washing dishes, cooking, and etc. When you're doing exercises, waiting for something. Okay, so these activities do not require concentration or deep thinking, right? Okay, so hence you can make use of this time while doing these activities to listen to the podcast, right? Or listen to an audiobook, right? It can help you make use of your time, okay? At least 1 to 2 hours daily to listen to English, even if you are too busy, okay? Next, look for a root words when you are listening to something, okay? Think of the base word. For example, you can, for example, here I have the word comparable, which can be divided into compare and able. So it is an adjective, means similar or of equivalent quality, worthy of comparison, okay? Next, make it fun and entertaining. So you can make your listening activity fun and entertaining. Okay, so subscribe to entertaining channels on YouTube, right? So a lot of English content can be found on YouTube nowadays, right? And the website is designed to be addictive. Okay, so you can always subscribe to your favorite YouTube channels, okay? Since YouTube always recommends new and interesting videos to its viewers, you do not have to manually search for the new videos to watch, okay? All you need to do is just keep clicking on those videos thumbnails and enjoy the videos, okay? So start subscribing to channels that really interest you. Of course, the channels must be in English, right? Okay, so these channels are always producing new videos, so there is always new English content to listen to, okay? So that would be really helpful, okay? Another great thing about YouTube is the captions, or, the subtitles. So since the subtitles are available, so you can turn it on if you need it and turn it off if you do not need it, all right? That's the best part of it, okay? Next, watch popular television series and movies. Okay, so you can look out for some affordable subscription fee kind of packages where you can get instant access to thousands of TV shows and movies, which can also make your listening practice entertaining. Okay, like Netflix shows and all that. So you can watch unlimited TV series and movies for an entire month. Okay, so the most importantly is you can watch them in a fun way, right? Next, listen to challenging English materials, okay? So you cannot always look out for easy tasks or easy materials. Okay, a conversation that contains some words and phrases you do not know, but you can still understand the main idea. Okay, that's fine, all right? So examples of challenging material can be a conversation in which people speak a bit fast, okay, like the native speakers, right? Native speakers a conversation or audio, okay? But as long as you can still follow the conversation, even though it is challenging, but you can still follow the conversation, you can still understand them, okay? Other than that, a conversation in which you can understand at least 80 to 90% of the content, that is good enough, right? And listen to speakers who do not speak clearly. Also, something important for you to try out. All right. So when you look at some speakers who can't really speak the language clearly, you can actually evaluate their speaking skill. Oh, okay. If I speak like this, people might not understand me as well. So you can learn from the weaknesses to make it as your strength, okay, to improve your speaking ability at the same time too, okay? You can also listen to various topics. It could be related to our education system or economy of the country, or it could be related to entertainment or mm, early childhood education, or it could be related to any kind of field, okay? So that you will have more ideas, you will have more exposure, okay? So listen to both American and British English as well, okay? So in for example, in IELTS examination, right, you can choose either American or British English, okay? So for you to use in your English spelling when you are writing the answers, okay? Yeah, so it is good if you can expose yourself to both version of English, right? Okay, next. Watch the gestures of the speaker while listening to them, right? It could be the person's body motions or body movements or even their body language, all right? So depending on the country, culture, and speaking style of a person, they might have a different body language, more or less hand movement. Okay, so in some culture, they do not really move their hands when they speak, and in some culture, they don't encourage this or they might find it offensive. So you have to also take note of all this. Okay, when you are in a different country, okay, you need to know the do's and don'ts, right? Yeah, okay, about the culture and the language use, okay, and as well as your body language, right? So the gestures give you more information and hints, okay, the information that you should be gathering from the topic of your conversation, right? So it may give you more ideas or more understanding to have a better understanding, okay? And finally, focus on the speaker. Okay, so avoid any internal or external distractions. Okay, it could be your, from your environment. You forgot to turn off your TV or radio or put your phone on silent mode. So, your alarm clock and your pet running around. So this can be an external distraction. And your internal distraction would be your thoughts. Okay, you're physically here, but your thoughts are elsewhere. You keep thinking about some personal issues or some other problems that you have been facing, okay, lately, okay, or even if you're hungry, okay, let's say you did not take your breakfast or lunch, okay, you feel hungry, you're starving, so that might also become an internal distraction because you might not be feel comfortable, right, to focus to the speaker or to the listening task. Okay, so be an active listener, and please ensure that you should not let something inside your mind or your surroundings to distract you, like I just mentioned. It could be your personal issues, work or study, or your pet, TV, or music. Okay, so just keep focusing on the speaker, okay, and listen to the speaker. Okay. Okay, now let's move on to the final component. All right, I would like to share some tips on how to improve your writing skills here. Okay, so first of all, expand your vocabulary. Okay, so to express your ideas clearly, you need to have a good active vocabulary. Okay, so that it will make your writing interesting. Okay, and the words should be used in the correct context. This is also very, very important. Okay, so what you can do is when you learn a new word, try to learn all the forms, okay, of the word. It could be the noun version or verb or adjective, for example, rather than just the word depend. Okay, you can also look at to depend on or dependent. Okay, so do read as much as you can. That's the only way to expand your vocabulary knowledge. Okay, if you ask me. Okay, so this will be very helpful to improve your vocabulary skill and also your grammar, sentence structure, and show you there are many ways to communicate ideas. Okay. Next, master English spelling. Okay, this is also crucial. You should know how to spell those words correctly. Okay, incorrect spelling changes the meaning of your sentences. For example, SEAC and SEEC sound the same, but it differs in meaning, right? Okay, so incorrect spelling makes it difficult for the reader to understand what you have written. Okay, so use a dictionary to look up words to clarify the meaning. You can learn antonyms, different meaning words, and synonyms, same meaning words, to avoid repetitions. Okay, so you have to make your writing interesting. All right, so how to make it interesting? It has to be no grammar errors, no sentence structure errors, and the spelling must be good, and also the choice of words must be really good. Okay, so all this can make your writing interesting. Okay, and most of all, try to avoid repetition. Do not repeat the same word. Okay. Brush up your grammar. Okay, it improves the quality of your writing as well. Okay, even though at times you may think that, okay, grammar is not really important. It is important. Okay, correct tenses and punctuations are crucial too. Okay, so always proofread your writing answer twice. Okay, so tenses and punctuation errors can change the entire meaning of the content and make it difficult for the reader to understand what you have written. Okay, what are your ideas that was conveyed, right? For example, I am very sure that you have come across this example. Let's eat, grandma. Okay, let's eat, grandma. Okay, so you can see the difference, right? Okay, so this shows that punctuation saves lives. Okay, so use simple words, keep it short and simple. Next, keep a diary in English. So write every day. You can write about something, okay, on daily basis to turn it into a routine activity. You can do it like once you wake up, okay, or after your breakfast, or even before you sleep, before you go to bed, you can write about it. Okay, it helps you to express your feelings in the simplest way with less effort. Okay, so you may start with a very short paragraph. It could be even like 3 sentences paragraph or 4 or 5. And day by day, when you get better at your writing, you can increase the number of sentences to make it like a little longer. It can go up to 7 sentences as well. Okay, so how do you elaborate your sentences? There are 5 basic sentence structures in English. First, you need to have a subject and a verb. Alice eats, my friend is studying. So Alice is the subject. The word I highlighted here, eats, is studying, are the verb. Okay, I like apples. Mary reads novels. Okay, so apples and novels are the object of the sentence. Then I add more, another adjective here, subject, verb, adjective. Jenny is happy, Linda is pretty. So the word happy and pretty are the adjectives. And she speaks fluently. These flowers are everywhere. So these 2 words are the adverb of the sentence. And here, my father was a chemist. You are a student. So chemist and student are the noun of the sentence. So how do you elaborate your sentence? Here are a few examples of how you can do it, right? Or how you can expand them. Alice, my sister, eats lunch. My best friend is always studying. Next, these small white flowers are everywhere during the summer. Next, my uncle, who passed away several years ago, was a well-known chemist. Okay. Next, write an outline and organize your paragraph. So make sure there is a topic sentence, means a sentence that explains what you're going to write about. Okay. You need to have a topic sentence, and the supporting sentences means, sentences that provide more information about the topic. It can come in the form of definition, examples, all right, okay, which can give you more information about the idea, about the main idea of your discussion. And then followed by the conclusion. It is generally a summary of the ideas that was developed or that were developed in the body of the paragraph. Okay. So make transitions between paragraphs to signal relationships between your ideas to create a fluent body of text. Okay, so transition markers are really important to show the connection between the sentences and also between the paragraphs that you have constructed. Okay, and check for mistakes. Try to get someone to read what you have written. Okay, it could be your teacher or friend. Okay, whoever masters the language and can help you understand and correct wherever there is the mistake. Okay, whatever mistakes that you have made in your writing, both in grammar or spelling or in the way your paragraph text has been organized. Okay, so they can assist you with this. Okay, so writing in English is not something you can achieve immediately, if you ask me, but with hard, efficient work and gradual improvement, like slowly, okay, you just go step by step, and surely you can get there. All right. So start writing very simple sentences and then get the challenge to write more elaborate pieces. Like I just told you, you can start off with a journal writing, okay, keep a journal, then slowly you can become a writer. You can even, you can even start writing stories, okay, if you are interested. Okay, so just give it a try. It will be very useful. Okay. Now, I would like to share some useful links and websites for you to explore the interesting activities. Okay, so activities for ESL students, BBC Learning English, talkenglish.com, British Council Learn English, and Duolingo. So you can take a picture of this in order to explore this websites later. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So summary of my presentation today. So first, set a realistic goal. Okay, it should be attainable within a time frame. Do not set a goal within a short time frame or even a long time frame. Okay, you have to make it attainable. Okay, set a realistic goal. Okay, for example, if you feel that, okay, I need to improve my writing skill within like 60 days or even 90 days, then you can work towards it. Okay. Number two, create a learning strategy. So it would indicate how much time you spend learning English per day or week, and what do you do, okay, in order to improve your skills, right? Number three, learn new words every set, for example, like from 3 to 10 words daily. If you feel that you can only learn 3 words, okay, in a day, 3 new words, okay, why not? You can just start with 3 words a day. Okay, so whenever you come across a new word through your readings, or when you look at a poster or notices or any signboards around you, you can quickly jot down in your notepad, all right? And you can start using it in your conversation or in your writings, right? Next, retell a story in English. You may watch a story in other languages or even in your native language, okay? Or even you can read a story in any languages than English. But when you retell the story, please make sure that you tell the story in English, okay? Next, participate in public speaking events. You can join open debates, spoken word readings, and improvised storytelling gatherings, okay? And you may also go to language cafes. It creates a friendly and relaxing atmosphere for people who want to practice and exchange languages. Okay. All right. So as you can see here, scan me. Okay. So this is about Inspire Learning, right? One of the services that we have in CE. Okay, you can scan this barcode in order to take up the activities, all right, on Inspire Learning platform for free. Okay, so you can also visit this website, okay, and it will take you to okay, you can click about Inspire Learning and it will take you to Practical English. Okay, so you just have to click on that and you can take up, you can try out a lot of activities, English activities there, okay, or quizzes. Okay, so for further inquiries, you may contact us at Sungai Long. We have Mr. Shafiq, okay, and at CE Kampar campus, we have Miss Selvi. So you can contact them for further inquiries related to our services at CE, okay. And these are the websites for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Okay, so we have come to the end of my presentation today. That's all from me. Thank you for joining me.